Rushan-san, please.
Good morning, everyone. Dear honorable members of the parliament and the distinguished guests and the organizers of this wonderful event. Today, every Uyghur in the world is a victim of Xi Jinping's genocide in my homeland, East Turkestan. Uyghurs are detained in concentration camps, subject to forced organ harvesting, forced labor, forced abortions, forced sterilizations, and forced marriages to Han Chinese men. More than 1 million Uyghur children taken from their families sent to state-run orphanages. Homes and the lands of the Uyghurs are confiscated, and the Uyghur economy is completely destroyed. Since most Uyghurs living outside of the East Turkestan have family members in China, back in East Turkestan, they are on CCP's hands are hostages. The regime can use keen punishment to repress Uyghurs abroad as a part of the transnational repression. Families of diaspora Uyghurs who speak out against the CCP's genocidal policies are detained and tortured. And I can relate it to this as a personal matter to me. Due to my public advocacy in Washington, my own sister, a retired medical doctor, Rushan Abbas, was abducted in September 2018, only 6 days after I participated in one of the think tanks in Washington, D.C. Despite living in the United States for more than 30 years, the long black arm of the Chinese government has taken my sister as a hostage, leaving me devastated. When Uyghurs speak up around the world, this is what they face. Countries and corporations act as though the world is depending on the Uyghur slave labor in order to survive. We are done with this lie. My sister, Dr. Rushan Abbas, could have made the shirt that's on your back. It's everyone's responsibility to stop contributing to the rising demand from China. We need to fill the accountability gap by spreading awareness to governments and consumers and to make this a universally unacceptable for countries and companies to be associated with forced labor. Last summer, we saw confirmation of those crimes against humanity and the genocide in the UN Human Rights Commissioner's report. Yet, there's nothing tangible from the governments to stop this genocide and hold China accountable. We call on IPAC and the Japanese legislators to make immediate action to end China's war against the Uyghurs, against the democracy and the freedom of the future of this world. China's genocide should be acknowledged by the cabinet of Japan and the other countries that have not yet made an atrocity determination. During G7 and G20 forums, question the Chinese government about the Uyghur genocide. Encourage countries to apply and enforce legislation similar to Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act. Companies complicit in Uyghur genocide should face sanctions, or legislation should be implemented to prohibit the export of AI, camera parts, and the semiconductor technologies to China, divest from China. Expedite refugee asylum status for Uyghurs, and simplify the visa procedures for them. Japan should bring more Uyghurs to study in Japan from diaspora and help with the education. Investigate the transnational repression that reaches Uyghurs living in democratic countries and to take the necessary protective measures. Universities should stop funding research collaborations with the Chinese military, which actively uses new data and findings to oppress Uyghurs. I want to end my remarks with a quote from Dr. Elie Wiesel's famous book, Night. Quote, his cold eyes stared at me. At last, he said wearily, I have more faith in Hitler than anything else. He alone has kept his promises, all his promises to the Jewish people. The end quote. The CCP has made its promises to exterminate the Uyghurs from the earth. We are counting on you, the parliamentarians and the leaders of the world, to break Xi Jinping's promise. Let's make our collective vow and the promise of never again even stronger. Thank you.